Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, some of those in the silver-haired community would say it's a great day for golf, and it is, don't get me wrong, but we say it's a great day for football, and the roof is wide open here in Glendale at State Farm Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, folks.
So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They're led out by their quarterback out of Arizona State. It's Brock Osweiler.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. Threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Set 70, Indy.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Osweiler. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. A look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the gun, it's Osweiler. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore.
Caught the ball.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
Here we go. Here we go.
So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018, drafted #1 overall the subsequent year, Kyler Murray.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns. I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. He's got a first down past the 30. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm going to go night-night. You heard the man.
This is Grant. And an alley to run. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals first down as well.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Man, we got to get this stop. Right there, 54, right there, 50. Let it go. Come on. You better bring it.
And now Murray's going to set up to throw. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 25-yard line. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, saying, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. They'll run on first down, Edmonds. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. The numbers for him from a week ago, 17 carries, 103 in the yardage department.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
That's track. One set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Quarterback go.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
And the play of this offensive line is going to tell a big story. And right now, if you're a fan of this team, you're loving the story that they are telling. They've already created some holes in the running game on this opening drive, and they're going to need to keep it up for these guys to have a big chance at victory.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Check. Let's go.
On play action, it's Murray. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Brian Burns coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays and give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting him score a touchdown versus holding him to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey.
Nothing.
A loss of 2 there. Second
Your
down.
man CMC out of here, dude.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. He's going to look deep for more, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Yo, man, Osweiler put it right on that man's hand.
Good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. It'll be Edmonds to begin the drive. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals 1st down as well. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
1st down, Murray. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was trying to find his tight end, Dan Arnold. And it's 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
That's the way.
Here's a give to Edmonds running to the right. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Yeah, you don't want none. 54 is Mike, 54 is Mike.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Looking now, that's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their history. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And the Panthers coming out now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Now Osweiler. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Wow.
Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
Like that,
so now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. From the shotgun, Osweiler. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 15 carries, 71 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Give him a couple on the carry there. Wow. 2nd and 8. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Osweiler now, the throw on 3rd down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Good old Brock.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago. And they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Cardinals to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Edmonds. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world.
Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. That's caught by Keyshawn Johnson. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Yes, sir.
19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
Trying to figure out this
For any
defense.
offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Here we go. Hey, hold on. 54. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On first down, Edmonds. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Cut.
Second down, Murray sets to throw. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. And it's picked up by the Panthers.
Yo, my man got lit. God, man.
We have
It's all
seen
right.
this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Oh.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. McCaffrey on the counter. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That was a very slow developing play there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 6-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Set. And shoot up. Watch the slant. Ready?
And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. We know that Gano has that big leg. He had the longest made field goal in the NFL last year, 63 yards to beat the Giants in Week 4. That was the longest game winner in NFL history, and he converts from long here again. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday press it a little bit. This might be the case.
That one good for 33 and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants...
And now a fumble.
Yo, what in the...
And it's picked up is. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 44, Osweiler.
Thank you, Osweiler. Thank you.
Picked off right around the 43. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Thank you. I saw you. I saw where you were going. You got to study your opponent.
If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and they will take a 7-point lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Brock Osweiler now heading out there to get set to go here on offense. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Man, you know my body,
lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in this. He rifles one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, let's go ahead and just add it up here. Their last 3 drives, 2 fumbles and an interception. Somewhere, to paraphrase one of the great coaches of the NFL, they're asking on that sideline, what the heck is going on out there?
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
2nd and 10. It's Osweiler again. Looking again for Thomas. This time complete. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He's going to loft one deep left side. He's got him in. Complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of right around 35 yards.
I know y'all forgot. Because this guy forever getting bumped. Not happening.
On a play that started back inside their 10. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey. They gave him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To throw on 2nd and 6. Osweiler. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Punt the ball, man.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot him? They say just outside the 20-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Murray now on 1st down. Finds the open target, Arnold. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On the handoff, it's Edmonds. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 35.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Nick Vigil
It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack on first down, Murray.
Wow.
And he's going to go down again. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Now he lets it go deep. That's caught inside the 20.
Go, baby.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 33 yards that time.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
They run it here with Edmonds.
Yes,
and
sir.
he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown.
Get Carolina up out of here.
Chase Edmonds, his
They had their
third
chance.
touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking.
Turn the
Beats good
TV off.
tackling.
It's going to be another
And now
blowout.
it's blocked. The Panthers get it. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. And before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it was really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spent a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Osweiler got the connection here to Bourne. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. 12 yards to pick up, good enough for an Arizona first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Get ready.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10, first down, Arizona. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Murray. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers 30. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Murray now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Murray now on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Murray. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will swell the lead to 16. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. We haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll have a first down past the 40. 30.
Wow.
20. 10. again, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And here on the road, that could be a huge score for their morale in the second half.
Every team has confidence going into the start of games, but sometimes you get it rocked a little bit, and they certainly applies here for them. But guess what? Just what you said, this touchdown can give them their belief back that they can win in the second half.
Extra point try good by Gano. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And in the second quarter, it's the Bears who are out in front. The Bears trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, we head cross-country to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting New Orleans Saints. Michael Thomas, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And it was the visiting San Francisco 49ers that come in and get the victory. 24-0 is your final. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Right there, 54.
Here's Murray. It's completed to Caldwell. A solid stiff arm. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Grant. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They go back to Grant. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. This one caught by Isabella. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch the slant.
From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mikel Roby-Coleman. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. Oh, nice move. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They'll throw on first down to Osweiler. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver there, Ian Thomas. But it'll be second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Open man is born. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. From the gun, it's Osweiler. And that's complete to McCaffrey. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. Murray, a quick throw out to Kirk. A gain there of 21 yards. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw is Murray. This to Arnold on the short pass. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Murray now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 10, first down, Arizona. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
They'll run on first down. Edmonds. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Throwing now is Murray. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Either way, baby.
Dan
Either
Arnold,
way. Either way.
his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. The Cardinal offense not going anywhere. They'll stay out and go for 2.
Watch tight, tight ends right. Watch tight, tight ends right. 4 down, check. Check that.
Shotgun now from Murray. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it, because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius, as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers about set to go on offense.
You think I'm going to
He's
get
had
beat
a
by
good
some guy
performance,
named
moved the ball
Osweiler?
effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. This one to Bourne out on the left side. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
Good as a sack.
Yeah, how about
lay
that?
down.
Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That 2nd down play, that's a -4.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, standing just outside his own goal line. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
On 2nd and 12, Murray. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Buying time to his left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision. And then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And Thomas has it.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas.
Thank you.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
All right, can we stop?
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Check. Fresno. Here we go.
On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
get this game over with.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Cardinals on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun on third down, Murray. And able to find Kirk complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Right there, 54 Mike. I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
On first down, quick. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
54. Here we go, D.
Now a give, right side. Grant. And he lost the football.
Kick you.
Get him, boys! Get him, boys!
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. To throw, it's Murray. Able to find Isabella. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
15 more.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Murray now on first down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, and it's 3rd down.
This defense can use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
The Cardinals on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, let's get there.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. On 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but he was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Osweiler, and he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let him lead the game out that way.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 30.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
Now it's Osweiler. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. From the gun on 3rd down, Osweiler. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Yeah, baby.
You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here's Osweiler to throw. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the... Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Dante Jackson picks it. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore. That'll bring up 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Osweiler toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. 3rd down here. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the shotgun, Osweiler completes it to Samuel. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. Third down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, and they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Osweiler. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, 2nd down. On 2nd and 7, Osweiler. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's... And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. Now, he's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other 2/3, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
Gano the extra point, and that will get him one closer. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Cardinals hands team able to secure the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
From the 38, Murray. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. That was a safety Taylor Rapp right there on the coverage.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
Open man is Kirk, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. A gain of 10, first down, Arizona.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
It's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Osweiler, now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Osweiler.
Thank you.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at his own 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. After the turnover, here's Murray. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And they turned the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now a draw play to McCaffrey. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. From the 31, Osweiler. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. McCaffrey following the penalty. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. From the 38, Osweiler. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Osweiler. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll indeed take a knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Arizona, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.